Hello, everyone. Hope you guys had a great Christmas and holiday, and welcome to your 2025 Year Ahead Scope, inclusive of the January. So I'm not going to be doing an introduction. I'm going to jump into each sign because it's useless to do an introduction. It's a year ahead and January, so I'll have to be I'll have to repeat everything for each sign. Um, but let me throw up a 2025 planetary alignment so that you can take a screenshot of that. These will be the major transits. I will touch on all of January's major transits, but the other dates, I will just touch on the most important ones because they are a lot. Um, and hopefully, let me scroll up more so you can see that. And you can stop the video and take screenshots. Okay, so those are the planetary alignments. Excuse me. So I'm going to jump straight into the Aries 2025 January and year ahead scope. So Aries 2025 has three major themes, and in this order: the very recent past slash present, and then the middle of the year, spring to summer, it will be the future. And then the latter half of the year, we will be going back to the past. Okay. Um, First off, let me just say Aries, especially, have had a rough year. Well, maybe probably 2 years. And that has been due to you losing a friend or friends or withdrawing from a group or an association of some kind. And that really was on purpose, as the universe was setting you up to meet this new friend or friends, and or a new circle of friends. Probably very Aquarian, future forward thinking people, which was November 19th, Pluto in Aquarius. And that's all I'm going to be saying about Pluto in Aquarius, because Pluto moves very slow. I think he's still at 0 degrees or 1 degrees of Aquarius. And I have actually completed a Pluto in Aquarius dedicated video for each sign, and I chose not to upload it until I uploaded these 2025 yearly scopes. But that's all I'll really be saying about Pluto and Aquarius. Uh, excuse me. What we will be talking about for the very recent past slash present will be about Mars. So Mars kicked off some activities in both your home and family sector and parents, and with lovers, romance, children, or creativity or a pet, September through December. And we start off January with Mars retrograde in Leo. Um, so you've had uh, since since November, December, heated discussions or action regarding a romance, a lover, or a child. And you have been going back over that conversation. You might have left a relationship, or maybe a child left home, maybe for school or something. But that's what you are entering the year with. But right after that, on the second to the third, Mars retrogrades from Leo back also into Cancer. And this will harken back to the activity, the action, the discussions that started the end of September last year with your home, family, um, maybe your parents, um, or maybe it was about buying a new home or relocating, or maybe just something mundane as renovation regarding a home. However, what has been happening is there has been frustrations and delays here, and things that came out of the blue. uh, and with Mars retrograde, you'll feel like, oh, you probably have felt since December that you are because you are ruled by Mars, you'll feel like you're drudging through mud, or maybe even spinning your wheels. Sorry, regarding a family situation. Some of you may have lost a family member. My condolences on that. But there's other family members that have needed your support or help, or it could have been a different situation altogether that created an issue with family. One of them was the Mars Pluto opposition in, I believe, November. So Mars was in Cancer in your home and family sector, and Pluto was in Capricorn still at that time. That was your career and status and reputation. So that was a very, very powerful opposition um, between your home and family and your career and status. Whatever the situation was, um, like I said, many of you left relationships or separated. Um, it could have been um, in opposition to what your family thought that should be, or it could have been vice versa. You could have maybe left a family dynamic. In any case, what you'll find yourself doing in January, February, and all the way into March, Mars is going retrograde into Cancer, and then we'll start going direct into Cancer. So there's something here that Mars is concerned with that is not getting solved. So that's why it's going back and forth over these degrees. And Cancer is family, and that's important to you. Um, Suffice it to say, family especially is very important to you. They really depend on you for not just money, because they do you do sort of take care of a lot of family regarding money, but also for emotional support. You are their champion. Um, Whenever something is unresolvable or they need the strength, you're the go-to person. And you have felt maybe at times that you're always there for family. You're always their rock, but it seems to you, at least, that whenever you turn to them, that they're not available or emotionally maybe supportive. That's how you may see it. Now, with Mars going back, retrograding back here, you will realize that this family situation or this family member, you will realize that they really are not made of your stock. Meaning, well, yes, Aries, your reputation precedes you, as you are ruled by the god of war Mars, um, and you can be a hothead. Which many Aries will disagree with me on that. They will say, "Well, no, I'm not really a leader. I'm not a hothead. I'm actually very patient." And yes, you are that too, definitely. Uh, but your essence is to continually go forward. So when you have this innate quality where if there's in um, something that cannot be resolved or an irreconcilable um, difference or what have you, Aries is the ram, so you're all in your head. You're a really fast thinker. As fast as Gemini can outtalk anyone, you can outthink a Gemini. So you have this ability to like play 4D chess in your mind about a situation, and then once you know that there's no solution or whatever it is, you can switch your mind off and drop it like a hot potato, and off you go. I wish I was like that so much, but so that is your essence: is to continually go forward. That's what Mars um, does to your essence. So not so much the warrior type as, but yes, you are the warrior type, but so much as forward movement constantly. But you'll realize with Mars, your ruler, being dragged down through this retrograde and hitting these obstacles with this family situation, you'll realize that these family members are not made of your stock and do really need you, do need your support, and do need you to slow down and listen and not drop them like a hot potato. um, um, and that will be the challenge for you, the challenge in slowing down and taking that extra time. Um, that will, but as much as it will be a challenge, okay, so if you push back, because Mars is retrograde, you will get pushed back that much. But if you slow down and take that extra time, your reward will be that extra beneficial for you. So you will be dealing with that, slowing down, listening, agreeing to disagree, or finding some kind of resolution or forward way of going. And again, it might just be mundane about a renovation where it's been, you've gotten different quotes and different timelines and they keep missing that mark. And again, it's not their fault as well because there's these dynamics of retrograde going on. Um, so you'll see that um, in by the end of February, when Mars starts to go direct in Cancer, you'll start seeing these resolutions going forward, or agreement to disagree going forward. And then a few months after that, sorry, that I have the window open, so I'm gonna let that pass. I apologize. I love the window open, and we're having unusually warm days here in Chicago, so uh, we get those noises sometimes. I apologize. Um, yeah, so after that goes forward in Cancer, and whatever is resolved, Jupiter comes into Cancer in June. And that's very nice. So it will expand your home and family sector. You might be starting a new family, or you might be expecting a new family member in your house or home and family, or you might be getting a new home. For those Aries who have not moved yet, you will be moving or expanding, renovating your home from June towards the end of the year, and also during the first half of next year. And you will be protected here. Um, it will be lovely. Jupiter is a very protective planet, but it's the planet of good luck and optimism. So your home and family, after you go through these trials and tribulations and this backwards and forwards motion, everything seems to work out fine. You have the blessings of Jupiter. And also Mars, when it completes its forward motion in Cancer, then in April, it will re-enter Leo, going direct. Um, and Leo is your fifth house of love, romance, children, creativity. Now, when it goes direct in Leo, you might have a relationship or a romance, or maybe a situation about a child uh, that will that will come up again, April through June, and there will be a resolution there. You might in reinstate a relationship that you ended maybe in November, December, regarding your um your fifth house of love and romance. Let's see. Yeah, we're still recording. Cool. I thought it stopped because my power went out. Okay. um, and that's good because with Jupiter and expanding your home and family, you may be getting engaged by the end of this Mars going direct in Leo, or you may be going steady with someone. Something might be revitalized from November and December, or it might be a brand new relationship. And again, it might include a child or children. Okay, so that's how the year starts off with Mars. Now, before I get into the other, well, let me continue with the themes, then I'll go back to January. Well, no, let me let me finish off with January since we're still on the theme of family and Mars and all that. So the three things that are important in January that I want to let you know about, well, more than three things, is that we have a Mars uh, that opposes Pluto, and this is very powerful, and that's right at the start of the year, January 2nd. So, like I said, um, the year 2025 and January in particular, it will not be like the laid back of the reprieve we had in December, even though we had some problems in December. But January just it starts off like crazy. um, so on the second, Mars will be retrograde in Leo, and it will oppose Pluto in Aquarius. Leo, again, is your fifth house of love, romance, children, and creativity. And then Aquarius is your friendship and group circle. So something about a lover or a romance or a child is in opposition to a friend of yours or a group of a circle of friends of yours, or it could have happen to be about your future plans because Aquarius in the 11th house does rule that. Maybe they feel they're not inclusive of this. Um, and right after that, on the second and third, that opposition is still going on. Mars will also retrograde in Cancer. So you have your family as well in a home situation that will oppose this friend or this group or this circle. And this is a powerful opposition because it is Mars, the god of war, your ruler, opposing Pluto, the god of the underworld and everything secretive and destruction. Um, like I said, Mars only knows how to go forward. It really does not do going backwards as well. So even when it's going backwards, it's still it's going deep and down and under and moving forward. And Pluto just says, "Okay, come at me. I'll take you." So, and we will be feeling this opposition. We're already probably feeling it right after Christmas, especially the last couple of days of the year, because this is an applying opposition. And some oppositions are good, and some are very challenging. And this will be a challenging opposition. Um, but with Pluto, it's just self control, it's discipline. And since Mars is retrograde, it's in full force. So the only suggestion I have here for you is try to use self control in this situation. The other thing that I wanted to let you know about is on the 11th or the 13th, I'm sorry, um, there will be a full moon in Cancer. And this is a powerful full moon as well. Now, why I mentioned this is because Mars is going retrograde in Cancer, and if you remember, like I told you, um, you will be being more compassionate and listening to what this family situation is. But you have a full moon here on the 13th, so this can be an ending of a family situation, or it can be a culmination of your past efforts since September here regarding a family member or a home situation. Um, so look to the 13th and also pay attention to that date because that really gives you a glimpse or a sneak peek of how when Mars finally goes direct in Cancer and where you start to agree to disagree or find a resolution to move forward, this full moon gives you a sneak peek of how it will be going forward. Okay. The other major thing that I wanted to let you know about in January is on the 16th, we have this sun that's opposing Mars. This is this is also very powerful, but it's a different kind of energy. It's a different kind of powerful. The sun is like it's the father figure. It's more of the jolly father, the nurturing father, uh, the good father. um, and Cancer is the mother. It's the nurturing mother, yes, but it's a very sensitive it's a you know very sensitive mother. um, so with the sun opposing Mars, now Mars again is all about action, heat, and going forward, but it's retrograde here. So the sun in Capricorn, which is your career status and reputation, opposing your family and home sector. The sun is powerful, more so because Mars is retrograde, but not to be undermined. So, again, with this, it's self restraint. But the one good thing about this is we have Chiron in your sign since I believe it was December 28th. That's stationed and started going direct in your sign. So, as much as you are the warrior, you are also very, very compassionate. You do really work for the underdog. Um, you take that mantle on. So with this opposition, it can actually be a good opposition because it can be cathartic. It can be very healing, um, very revelatory. So that when we had the Pluto in Capricorn oppose Mars in Cancer back on November 3rd, it will not be as destructive as it was on November 3rd. Here, you get something, everybody gets something out of this opposition. The other thing is in January, is on the 2nd, Venus will enter Pisces. And that is your 12th house of hidden secrets, behind the scenes, um, compassion, definitely your faith, and dreams, or even taking care of someone. So Venus attracts money, riches, fame, fortune, and just the nicest niceties of life. So uh, your secret house will be protected. Your faith will blossom, um, and compassion will be much more significant with you about a past situation. So that'll start beautifying that, and that's really all we have for January. The only other thing in January is something of a repetitive situation between you, being wanting individuality, um, in opposition to a relationship or relationships, comes to an end. So, um, if you've had this codependency, and it's the nodal axes, they are leaving Aries, your sign, and Libra, and they will be entering Pisces and Virgo. But when they leave, this is um, this repetitive situation between you and a partnership. Even if you are like a strong couple, there's nothing wrong. Uh, but there was something about a relationship that was codependent, which did not sit well with you. Because, like I said, you're a me first sign, so you need to like have that energy to go forward. And this relationship to you might have seemed like it was dragging you down, or it was too needy. Well, when this nodal axes change signs, that neediness, that codependency will disappear, and the relationship will blossom. Okay, where you will feel like, oh yes, I can breathe, but I still keep the relationship. For others, it will be the ending of a relationship. And it's not something new. I always try to say this because I don't want people freaking out. It's not something new. It's been something that has been repetitive for almost 2 years now. And it is a karmic situation from 18, 19 years ago. Okay. But like I said, for others, it will be that codependency, that neediness stops. Then those axes, like I said, will go into Pisces. The North Node will go into Pisces, your secrets house, and behind the scenes and faith. And then the South Node will go into Virgo, which is your house of busyness, scheduling, routine, health, even small pets, or taking care of someone. So the South Node is where we're comfortable, where we know our stuff. And for you, it makes perfect sense because you are sort of a workaholic, or somebody who's like, let's move forward, let's go, let's go. What's my next duty? And so forth. And that's where you're comfortable in. And what the North Node is calling you to is to release that analytical mindset, that hard work energy. It's telling you to you can relax, you can release that, and it's trying for you to uh, be more dependent and go towards more your faith, and revisiting the past to clear things out. And this will go on for about 18 months, almost 2 years. Sorry about that. It stopped. I'm trying a new video editor. So yeah, that with the Pisces and Virgo axes, it will be an 18-month journey with that, of you um, revisiting how you schedule your routine, how you the health your health situation, or taking care of someone, releasing that and trying to really go on faith and compassion more, and slowing down. So that's what, with the ecstasy. So that's, let me just look at my notes. That's really what January has. So let's move on to, and I've covered Mars, and towards this spring. So let's cover what the three major outer planets are shifting signs. First off is Neptune. um, Neptune will leave Pisces, your 12th house of secrets, the past, compassion, faith, after a 14-year journey. It was permanently, Neptune permanently entered Pisces on Valentine's Day, 2012, and that has been a journey for you until now. And it's been almost like uh, a vacation for you. You enjoy being alone at times, or your faith has been absolutely a godsend for you, to play on words. Or you could have come out of that with a different kind of faith, um, and so forth. But that is leaving Pisces. Neptune is leaving Pisces, and it will enter your sign. Yay! So Neptune is all about, yes, a lot of astrologers and people will say that it's about disillusionment, about the slippery, about rose-colored glasses, and what have you. But it is also the planet of visions, of dreams, of like dreams, like dream of the future, of idealism, idealizing something. And your sign is the me first sign, and it is all about appearance. So, especially because it's your first house. So, Neptune here will um, start making you long for, or uh, something about your image, about your physical appearance. It'll be about your hairstyle, it'll be about your wardrobe, it'll be about your profile, um, especially online and social media. Um, your friends, your people, your family, your partners, or children, and so on and so forth, will start idealizing you, presenting this dreamy vision of you, and you will feed into that and feed off of that. Um, and it is good. It gives you this confidence, this feel good nature about yourself, and you will want to change the way your appearance, how you appear. And it is a 14-year journey. It is a long journey, so at first you might not really feel it, but there will something will be sparked slowly about your image. um, some of you will consider plastic surgery, and weight loss procedures, especially with these pen weight loss procedures that are all the fad now and all that. If you were never into selfies, you will be all about selfies. You'll be like, oh my God, why didn't anyone tell me about this? If you never really cared for makeup, you will really think that it's really cool. And like moisturizers and things like that, facials and spas, it'll feel like a vacation for you. You will drift into that. Um, but right after that, a few weeks after that, maybe I think a month and a half after that, Saturn will also enter your sign. And Saturn entering your sign here is again about your image and your appearance. It will start, well, it's a reality check, and it's wake up calls. Saturn is this stern father. It is the father, or the professor that you have to earn the respect of. And Saturn is really, really misunderstood. Saturn is super beneficial because Saturn does give you a foundation, it does give you a structure. And what Saturn will be doing is Saturn will be giving you an anchor to drop so that you don't drift into the the sea of Neptune, the ocean of Neptune. I mean, the ocean is humongous. We don't even know uh, as much about our deep ocean as we do about space. Um, and Neptune rules Hollywood, the movie industry, yes, the music industry. It rules creativity, oil, alcohol, um, dreams, perfumes, um, and it just softens everything. And yes, it does rule like fog and mist and the sirens of the mermaid that draws us off and off and off. So what Saturn is doing is dropping an anchor for you, or giving you an anchor to drop, and keeping you closer to shore here. And how that'll manifest is, if we're talking about your image, let's, for example, take plastic surgery. So if it's about plastic surgery, and why not? I'm all for plastic surgery. I think it's great. There's the invasive and the surgical kind. But what Saturn will be warning you about, and putting up boundaries and obstacles here, is the dangers of plastic surgery, for example, or the dangers to your health, and irreversible procedures of plastic surgery, or weight loss. Like I said, these new pen weight losses that um, are around, or are all the fad now. Well, you'll start hearing and you'll understand how that will be intrusive and will affect your health. Excuse me. Um, it can also manifest, since it is about your profile, and we are in the age of Aquarius and all this online social media stuff. It can be about defamation and slander. Um, or it can be about bullying or jealousy, about all that. So I'm not saying that that's what'll happen right away. I'm just saying that Saturn is coming in, and Saturn may manifest in a friend or a family member or a parent, um, putting those obstacles and boundaries for you to build you a solid foundation and to give you that anchor so that you don't drift into the unknown. So Saturn will be doing that for the first couple of years, teaching you all that those lessons, so that when it leaves your sign, you're on your own with Neptune, and you will have learned in these next 2 years, these boundaries, and you will be aware. The other thing that'll happen is Uranus, the planet of shock and surprise, the planet of electricity, will leave Taurus, your money sector, and will go into Gemini. Now, for the past 7 years, regarding your job, income, money sector, that has been a wild ride, sort of, for you. Uranus works like in waves. It takes you as high as you know, as high as you can go, and then it can take you as low as it can go as well. So you've had those ups and downs regarding your job and your income. It can be feast or famine with Uranus. And what you thought about a job, uh, what you thought you would be doing as far as a job or the income you would be getting, has abruptly shifted quite a few times in the last few years. Where you thought you were going in this direction, Uranus has picked you up and turned you 180 degrees and shifted you in a different direction. Uh, and at times it has been volatile. And because, like I said earlier in the video, for you, money is very important, as you do take care of a lot of many people depend on you. There will be a couple of surprises before Uranus leaves Taurus in your money sector, but once it leaves Uranus, that uncertainty, that feast or famine, will stop. And a lot of you have actually found new jobs, or are starting a new job, or will be starting a new job once Uranus leaves, and your income will be more steady. Um, excuse me. And I'll be discussing more, of course, because I do detailed monthly scopes. So we'll be discussing more on that. This video is just for the themes. Excuse me. Then it will enter Gemini, which is your third house of communication devices. So cell phones, Skype, Zooms, and things like that, or the social media or internet. It is also your house of commuting, short distance travel, siblings and cousins, and as well, um, vision and language, or the need to be heard. So you'll start getting surprises in that sector for the next 7 years. There will be breakthroughs with siblings and cousins or communication devices. Oh God, I got a cough. I got to stop this again. Sorry. Sorry about that. I had a cold, a really bad cold in December, and I've gotten over it. But what's left after the cold is this cough, so I apologize. So yeah, and with Uranus uh, leaving Taurus, your job and money sector, I did mention that you will be getting new jobs, or you have started new jobs. And since Neptune has entered your sign, you might be getting into the field that Neptune rules. So it might be about fashion or makeup or alcohol, or perfumes, or the movie industry, or you might start some kind of internship in one of those aspects. I forgot to mention that, so I wanted to say that. But then, like I said, like I mentioned, it moves on to Gemini. So the next 7 years, you will start having surprises and shifts regarding your communication devices, or how you communicate, how you are heard. Also, with siblings, if you have siblings or cousins, there will be surprising shifts in those relationships. And commuting, short distance travel, neighbors and neighborhood. And that sits in well with Jupiter coming into your home and family sector. Like I said, many of you will be getting a new property or new home, or your home is set to expand. So, with Uranus going into Gemini and your neighborhood sector, You might be changing neighborhoods, and it might come abruptly, or with that shift. Also, social media is big in Gemini, so you might be dabbling in that. And again, Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise, whereas I told you Neptune entering your sign and idealizing the the male energy, or the hero, or the compassionate warrior. Or you can, if you're a woman, you can be seen like a Joan of Arc, or what have you. um, I said that that would be a subtle shift, but with Uranus, Uranus doesn't do subtle. If you remember back 2010, I think, or 2011, when Uranus entered your sign, that was the same minute and degree as the Fukushima Japan explosion. um, Air and fire ignite things. So uh, going into an air sign, it will be uplifting. But like I said, Uranus doesn't do subtle; it does abrupt, do things that way. But it is a safe house, let's say, because it is the third house. And yes, you'll see all these different shifts. And again, I will do. I do. Sorry, that's my pug. He's looking out the window. Okay, Oji, stop. So you will start seeing those shifts in those areas. And I don't want to stop the video again. OG, stop, please. Thank you. Love you, baby. Um, and you will be start to seeing that, but that will be an exciting uh, part for you, especially the neighborhood, and communication devices. There will be. We are in the age of Aquarius, so everything electronic and futuristic. You will be the first to be engaging in that, and that will be great. All right, and then we will be shifting into the latter half of the year, where all the planets start retrograding, and they don't only retrograde in these new areas, they will be retrograding all the way back to the past. So Neptune and Saturn will be retrograding back into Pisces, which is your house of the past, um, of compassion, of faith, and alone time, you time, house of secrets. Both Neptune and Saturn will be doing that because there is unfinished business here. And we do have the nodal axes playing out a repetitive situation here as well. So Neptune is back to help you help you with maybe a rough spot that may have been left unfinished regarding your past or faith. And Saturn will come along for the ride to make sure Neptune doesn't whisk you away to the mermaid sirens. It'll help you with structure and boundary. And Uranus will also retrograde into the few first degrees of Gemini, and then back into Taurus again. So uh, and what this is because maybe you're shifting jobs, and like I said, it might have to do something about your image, or Neptune influence things. You are going to be taken back into Taurus with your money and job sector, only to um, help you with anything that you might not have tied up, any loose ends. For example, like I said, you might do an internship for a few weeks, a month or so, and then when Uranus is in Gemini, uh, but then it goes back into Taurus, so that you can review that, if this is still for you, or if the income is what you want, or if you need something else. So that will be all doing that during the end of the year. And I don't want you guys to think like, oh, I don't, 2025 is going to end on the past again. I don't want that. And especially for you, Aries, because you are all about forward movement, you don't do retrogrades really well. But this will be a different kind of energy. This will be a healing kind of energy of resolving things that have been left unresolved, reconciling things. Um, it'll be cathartic healing here. because what you want to do is you want to release the past before the planets start moving forward again next year and going into your future sectors of image and your third house. Uh, you want to move forward into the future with no baggage because you want to encompass the future of all of you. You don't want to partially do that. The saying of if you hold on to two things, you will lose both. So God, in His wisdom, the universe is taking us back to reconcile things, to find resolution, to tie up these things so that we can move forward in a free um, energy of embracing the future. And we have shifted from water and earth signs from last year, and we are shifting into fire and air energies. and and the future is about really fire and air energies, and those move rapid and those move fast, which is just your kind of avenue. And uh, that's why this retrograde and tying up loose ends, Aries. Okay. There's people barking at my dog outside. That's why he's barking. They're antagonizing him, my baby. So I wanted to just give you these main themes for the year ahead. I'm not really going to go into all these aspects for the year ahead. I wanted to do it for January, mostly because this is like a January and a year 2025 ahead forecast. So I will not be going over the other months. I do provide you that lineup so that you can look at it, but again, you will have a detailed February, March, blah 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 scopes, and we will go over all these things. But August looks to be fantastic for you. Um, uh, all the hullabaloo and the chaos and uh, the new energies and the sparks that'll be flying the first few months of the year into spring, and the resolutions into the summer and shifting energies. August is a really nice month for you. September, we have some sort of a wake up call um, with a Mars Uranus opposition. Uh, well, no, that's November, but with September, there's a Mars Jupiter square, and that Mars will be in Libra and Jupiter will be in Cancer. So relationships and a home and family, or house situation will be some kind of a wake up call. But again, that's September, and we're not even in the new year. We will have detailed scopes for that time. And I touched on. I just want to make sure that yes, Mars. I completely touched on Venus. Oh, this is the only thing I knew I was missing something. So Venus this year will go retrograde. It doesn't go retrograde every year. And why it's important, especially for you, is on February 4th, Venus will enter your sign. Okay. And that's coinciding also with Neptune coming into your sign. So something idealizing about your image, and you will be more attractive, and you will attract, like I said, Venus attracts money, love, fame, fortune, and all that good stuff. So it will be in your sign, and you will be attracting all these things, and you might be attracting relationships and definitely money. But why I wanted to mention it is because when it goes retrograde, it starts going retrograde on March 1st in your sign um, until March 27th. Uh, Retrograding in your sign, I just would caution about any haircuts, plastic surgery, any irreversible kind of things that you might do to your appearance and your image during the retrograde, because once it comes out of the retrograde, you will have changed your mind, uh, and you might hate it. So that's my disclosure. And again, I will mention it in your February scope and your March scope. But yeah, just be careful of that retrograde period. And also, you might have a relationship from the past come back to you, since again, you've had Neptune in Pisces, so that's all about the past. You have Mars retrograde in Leo, and that is about your romance and a relationship sector. It's not a partnership, it's about romance or a lover. And during the same time, of this retrograde. So you might have past relationship come up, and you will have to deal with it. And Venus, when it goes retrograde, Venus is all about beauty and fragility and the nicer things in life, because that's what it attracts. When it goes retrograde, just think of being spiteful or withdrawing those things. um, so that's why I wanted to mention those. It will also Venus will also retrograde back into Pisces on April 12th. So again, something about your past. Yeah, I think you're going to have a discussion with someone from your past here in March, April. Um, and it is part of this closure, this healing, this resolution, this rec- reconciling things uh, in a healthy way and releasing it towards the end of the year. This is setting you up for that compassionate end of the year resolution. And then April 30th, it will April 12th, it will go direct in Pisces, and then April 30th, it re-enters your sign direct. So there you go. Anything that you wanted to do physically to your appearance, April 30th and on is your safe dates. And then June 6th, I want to mention this too, is Venus will enter Taurus. So that is your job and money income. And I usually don't say gamble or whatever, and don't gamble. But if you wanted to buy a dollar lottery, when Venus is in your money sign, it never hurts. Um, but you will be attracting more money June 6th, because it's your job and income, or you will be attracting a very, very lucrative and maybe a job in the fashion, like I said, in the image industry or something like that. In any case, Aries, I hope you did enjoy this video and scope of year ahead. Do look for the dedicated video for Pluto and Aquarius. I will be uploading that and other goodies. So I hope you're subscribed so you can be notified. And if you found this informative or at least entertaining, do hit the like button. It really does help me out. At least if you're not going to subscribe, do that. And I will talk to you in the next video. Take care, Aries. Have a happy new year.